What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, now proudly powered by 786 Sports, based out of Miami. Your first stop for all things Inter Miami. We're going to have to figure out how to make that sound a little bit more smooth, but welcome to the Heron Heads podcast again. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. And on behalf of the guys, we want to thank you for joining us here to discuss Inter Miami versus Chicago Fire, a game that had me pulling my hair out basically the entire match, and also for the last few hours thinking back on this match, because it did end a few hours ago, but this match was frustrating. It seemed like there was a lot of players sort of playing very lackadaisical, and I think there's quite a few questions that have emerged from this match, so we'll get into that now. But gentlemen, how are you guys feeling today?
There's everything but fire on that one. Go for it, Jose. What are you gonna say?
Another day that we score a goal and it gets turned away. If it's just what is our number 15 that goal that we score that just gets pulled away, right? And that would have been for the game winner, right? In the 87th minute for Luis Suarez. Overall, very sad game. Just a record-breaking crowd for the Chicago Fire. Very sad for them. It was 358 fans that saw that. So I had two channels on, so I was entertained by watching that. I was also the Masters were going on today, so I was just watching little by little that. It's very, 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 relaxing day overall. No goals, so not much excitement happening. So yeah, it's pretty crappy game.
Well said.
Yeah, before we get a little bit further, a huge shout out to our Chief Heron Heads, Chow and Mari V. Thank you for the continued generous support. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you'll find a link in the description wherever you are listening. Also, if you are watching live on YouTube, please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you're enjoying the show. Helps us out tremendously. But yeah, as Jose said, there's just not very much happening in this game. There was actually a lot of chances, but they were very poorly taken from either side.
I was at a kid's party when it started. That's why I was so quiet in our Discord. If you're not on Discord, join it now. It's fun. Have a good time there. But I was quiet. I wasn't looking at anything. I was looking at the scores, messages, nothing. And I started watching from behind, and I kept waiting and waiting and waiting for something to happen. I was like, geez, this is not looking good. And then, I saw some messages come in. I'm like, oh, something had to have happened now. And nothing, still waiting. And then, yeah, it was absolutely nothing today. Like Julio, you just said, I was going to say it. Chances, there were plenty of chances. Messi had two beautiful, both are free kicks. Two beautiful free kicks hit the post. And then a third free kick that, it just sailed a little bit above the post. But all three of those chances were really great chances for Messi. He had the beautiful shot in the very beginning, maybe like the first 5 to 8 minutes of the match, that that was a beautiful stop by the keeper. I'll give him all the props. 21-year-old keeper for Chicago stopped it cleanly, and it was a nice one. And a multiple other chances that I'm sure we'll get into now. The Allende, a wide open one towards the end. Obviously, the one that Jose mentioned, the offside. There's just so many chances all match, and we couldn't capitalize on just one. These ties aren't going to do it for us. We got to at some point start getting the 3 points in the MLS play. We've got a few ties as of late, and it's not going to work for us in the long run. So we got to figure it out.
What I keep noticing is, especially in this match more than any of the other matches, we reverted back to that Messi pendencia type ball, except nobody could figure out the best way to actually get him the ball. You can see the intention was there for them to get him the ball, and in doing so, they completely just either slammed on the brakes on an attack or just forced it to him where he wasn't in the best position to receive that ball. We saw it a couple times with Kramaski where he's making nice runs, and then instead of either striking it or making the right pass, he completely stopped in the box and waited for Messi to return. And I saw it twice from Kramaski. I saw it once in Segovia. It's just frustrating. Like, these guys need to let it rip. Segovia did get a nice one off, and I was screaming at that point. I was like, "You better shoot this ball. You better shoot it because there's no other play but shoot it." And several times, either they slam on the brakes away from Messi, or instead of making the next feasible pass to an open player to keep the attack going, they break it down so that either Messi catches up or just to get it to him because they feel like he has to touch it on every single possession. And you can even see Messi in the build-up passes it to somebody and he expects them to make the correct pass to the next person. And instead of doing that, they passed it back to him and he's frustrated because you guys are soccer players or you're professionals. You can't just yield to Messi at every single point. You have to make the best play for the whole team. And it's just today more than ever, I think this season we saw that type of play, and it was very rough.
Yeah, so we see a lot of comments here about Suarez. Just putting a couple on. One said, Brad said Obando should have played instead of Suarez. Shoes says Suarez, meet bench. And then a few other things about Suarez there. But yeah, he had an ugly game. It's been, I mean, our thumbnail says it. It's been, what, 30 days, over 30 days since he's had a goal in any sort of tournament or league play. And that's rough, man. He's just starting number 9. He's just starting striker. He has to put the ball behind in the back of the net. And we have this young, fresh guy, Obando. Yes, he had a botch play last time he was put in there, but he's fresh. He's willing to play. He's young. I'm sure he's hungry for it. And we're not putting him in there at least at the 60th minute just to see what happens in a game that is just deadlock at 0-0. I mean, I don't know what they're waiting for on him. Are they penalizing him for making that mistake last match? Or are they just headstrong on playing Suarez? Suarez has to rest. Why is he not resting? I think today would have been the perfect time to honestly just start Obando. Start him and just see what happens.
I don't think they're penalizing people for missed chances, because if they were doing that, then Suarez would never see the pitch, because my God, how many times this season has he just whiffed on wide open chances?
Yeah.
50th roll today. Brutal. Just went straight up. Which was like right up ahead. They gave it to him. He was just ahead of the whole pack. It seemed like he was free and clear. I don't know if it was a one touch, just straight up, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I was of the mindset that this was the perfect match to start Obando. I'm surprised there wasn't more rotation done to the squad. Honestly, when it was announced, when the starters were announced, I was very surprised to see Suarez in the starting 11. And then for him to play all 90 plus minutes was very surprising to me. Like, he was really bringing nothing to this match. I think he had the fewest touches of like any outfield player in the game. And even when he did touch the ball, it wasn't good. Like, it wasn't doing anything. You know, he's been able to sort of hang his hat on facilitating play so far this season, but even that's sort of dried up. I mean, he hasn't scored a goal since he scored a penalty kick against Cavalier. So it's been 8 matches since he scored a goal from the run of play, right? From a non-penalty kick. And that's too many for someone who was in the Golden Boot race last season. It's just not enough to just be a passenger on this journey. And he needs to be so much better. So I was very surprised. Okay, it's one thing if you start Suarez, but to leave him in the entire match when it was so glaringly obvious that he needed to come off, it's one of the things that we've said Mascherano has done a very good job of this season, is making timely substitutions. And it felt like that was completely missing today. So I don't know what it is with Suarez. They were, teammates back in the day, but something needs to change, and there needs to be like a very serious conversation had, because we need to score goals, and it seems very anemic right now.
He has assisted. Like more Matt said there. But I think with this, what we're clamoring about, Matt, is basically, we need him to score some goals, because right now it seems like we're anemic, and us being anemic in a situation where, like, a number 9 usually would drag us out of these situations. That today we just need one goal to win. And it really just was a rough watch. We have very little XG, or 1.07 XG for us, 1.22 for them. So it was it was going to be a low scoring match. But we needed some juice.
His most recent assist was March 16, almost a month ago. So like Yeah, he's assisted this season in place of his goal scoring, but even that was a month ago. It's not good enough. And that was an assist to Messi. So I can't recall that specific goal, but what are the chances that he just passed it to Messi and Messi made something out of nothing? Not the other way around. Not that it was a goal that Messi had no choice but to score. I bet that wasn't the case. So yes, he's been assisting, and like I said, that's what he's been able to sort of rely on this season when it doesn't come to scoring goals. He's been able to at least facilitate and contribute in different ways. But today, and we've seen this a couple times, he sort of lucked his way into getting an assist. And today, it was very obvious. Like the eye test, he failed because it was very obvious that he wasn't doing anything productive for this team.
So how about the rest of the starting lineup? Like you said, Julio, I think we all kind of had a thought that we were going to heavily rotate, especially next week is Columbus, guys. Next week is a big time match. We don't have a mid game fixture this week where it's a nice long possibility to rest. And I feel like they didn't really utilize it good enough. Like we said, Suarez played on 90, Messi played on 90, and it's kind of weird. It was kind of a weird situation. But what about the rest of the starting lineup? The back line had a little bit of a tweak with Lujan at right back, with Noah Allen at left back. Alba got the rest. That's a positive there. But yeah, what do you guys think about the rest of the lineup today?
It felt like Alba needed the rest the least, even though he's played the most. It felt like he, of all the pieces, never seems so fatigued compared to like Messi and Suarez. And Messi honestly never seems that fatigued compared to Suarez. Suarez always seems like he's gasping for air by like the 10th minute.
Yeah. I thought, just to answer my question, I thought Noah Allen played really, really well at left back. I think both on the attack and on defense. I'm actually curious for Jose's little segment later on with the ratings, but I thought he played really well. He didn't really make any mistakes. He defended the attackers really well, so I was happy with him. Obviously we've seen him at center back all the time this season, but I was very curious to see what he would do out there.
I thought he played well enough at left back. I think there was a noticeable drop off from what we see with Jordy. Like we expect that position to be able to do more in the attack, and also I saw him lose more at that left back position than he does normally at center back. So there were a lot of matchups that I felt like he just wasn't in the right position or something, and he did give up ground in that left back position. So that's something that I didn't love to see, but it's not like he got torched or anything like that. So it's not a glaring like disparity out there. But I think what we learned is for sure he's a starting center back over Toto. Like that's clear and obvious. Toto, we all already felt that way, but in having him come off and then Noah Allen shifting to that center back position, because they could have easily taken Noah Allen off and brought in Alba. And Toto was not in card jeopardy or anything today, and they still took him off so that Noah Allen can play center back. So I think that speaks volumes to how the club feels about Noah Allen, and well deserved. But at left back, I think Jose agreed with me in the Discord that he felt mid. It didn't feel like he was really elevating anything at that position. It's nice that he can play that spot and be serviceable, because that's what we were asking for early on. We didn't know if he could ever play left back and be a serviceable left back. So now he has been able to fill that gap. But I'm not under any pretense to say like, oh, he played really, really well at left back, because I didn't see it and I don't feel that way.
Like if you looked at the other side, right back, I felt like Lujan didn't play well. Right, I didn't like at all compared to seeing Noah Allen. Yeah, I agree with that. Like I said that on the Discord today. I was like, this guy seems mid, when typically we don't get that from Noah Allen. We get actually he's kind of our positive spotlights. Usually every game he's been very effective and just consistent. Is the best word, I think. Today he was what he was at left back always, which is pretty good. Pretty good. No, pretty good. The stuff is, I'm not disparaging. I'm saying I think he's pretty good, but I don't think he's great. I think he's been great at center back. Maybe that's just I just feel so high on him as center back that maybe I feel this way about him being a left back, but I don't think that was by any means just the reason why we had a tie game today. I think he may have helped have that 0-0 and keep the defense going well, but I think they just missed more chances. Also, we had, I think, we gave them just 2 opportunities today that I don't know how they missed it. I just have no idea how they missed it.
You want to know how they missed it? Ustadi had another amazing, fantastic match.
Amazing.
We'll get more into
that. Chicago did Ustadi some favors as well. They hit everything straight at him or off target.
No, but he had some diving.
He had some great saves. Don't get me wrong.
Some that he just gloved, and that I didn't expect him to glove some. Of course, the one that he coughed up was, of course, the one that should have been in the back of the net.
Yeah,
Drake would never.
So I'll say about Allen, I agree to some extent with everyone. I think Allen played better than what we've seen him play at left back, Jose. I don't think he played like what we've always seen from. This was a much better left back performance from Noah Allen. It wasn't great. And he certainly plays center back better than he plays left back. That is very obvious. And yeah, to Dave's point, like the drop off.
I'm not sure why. I'm not even sure why. I feel
completely different position.
No, but like his body, I feel like is perfect for that position.
Why do some defensive backs play cornerback and better than safety?
No idea.
Different position.
Great question. But by the way, somebody tried to stat correct you, and I just wanted to say that you
correct me.
Yeah. The dude by Suarez actually assisted the Messi goal victory 3-1 versus Alessi. I don't think so, Dudabides. I looked at the stats real quick right now, and I don't think they gave it to him. So maybe I don't remember. So if I don't remember and it's not on the court, I don't know.
Never happened.
It might have been one of the ones that got called back.
A little highlight reel, and we like, oh, you're right,
Jose. It might have been one of the ones that got called back too.
Wait, we had 50 of those.
True,
exactly.
It's very possible that one of those 50 that were called back.
So one of the things I noticed with our defense and with Allen specifically playing a left back is that when Jordi Alba's in, a lot of the offense runs through Alba, at least to transition from defense to offense. For obvious reasons, Allen is a drop off from Jordi Alba. I think that's a very easy statement to make. That's not too much of a hot take. We weren't able to employ that as much because obviously Alba was out, and Allen, although he's playing much better and is much improved, he is not the offensive playmaker that Jordi Alba is. So that limited us in that fashion. And Lujan, I thought, had a really poor match. He was all over the place, compounded by the fact that Toto was out of position all the time, this entire match. And I don't know what it was. I said this in the Discord, but it felt like the spacing between the midfield and the defense was off, because every time that Chicago was able to break our press, there was space all over the field. I mean, as soon as they went from right to left, there was overloads of 3-1. And it felt like you were always on pins and needles when Chicago got the ball and broke that first line of press. And it was very worrisome the entire match. Luckily, nothing came from it, be it through bad shots or Ustadi making a good save. But that's where he rotated most heavily, Mascherano, in the defense. But it felt like he should have rotated more in offense, honestly.
And the thing is that what I noticed in today's lineup, if you looked at each player, right? So let's break it from the back to the front. Okay, you have Lujan at right back. He's not a guy that I'm going to consistently be saying, oh, he's going to definitely bring the ball up the pitch. He's going to put us into play. He's going to make some plays on offense. That ain't him. We saw more of that from Cello, which is crazy. In the last match, we have 2 good right backs. I feel like I don't know why we had to go to Lujan today. I'm not sure, man. I mean, it's not bad, I guess, to mix them in. But I always like having Cello and Frey over him. I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know. But then you go in the left back, and no Allen, he doesn't do well on offense from the left back position. The other day he had some nice chip-ins that he put it into play from the center back position, which is crazy. But he doesn't do as good as Alba, obviously, right? Not crazy. But then so that's down, right? And then you go to Redondo. Redondo's, I don't know how many times you guys see him in this, like right next to Noah Allen. I felt like he was covering so much in the back line.
I agree.
And I was like, is this guy playing center back? I had to look back. I was like, is he playing center back today? Are they switching him naturally? I don't know what's happening there. And I mean, then I thought, hey, that's not a bad idea. That's a Tata thinker right there. If they just start putting him back there at center back, maybe they resuscitate his career. Who knows? And then you have Kremaski, which, bro, he was a deer in the headlights today. I don't know what was wrong with him. There were some times when I was just watching. I think he picked it up towards the end of the game. But man, that I would say the first 70 minutes just was awful for him. So just through all that, we got 0-0 tie. That's what I was getting at.
Yep.
Yeah, so I thought Redondo.
Happy substitutions, Dave.
Redondo just didn't have. He has not had a good game, and I don't understand. Like, if these are all testing grounds for what our best 11 is, Yannick Bright is again so clearly better than Redondo at this point that Bright needs to be starting ahead of him every single match. And Mascherano said at the end of the match that this is sort of what happens when you play every 3 to 4 days, for weeks at a time. But it's like, you have the power and authority to make rotational moves. So that is not an excuse for why this team didn't come out and perform to a high level when you have depth and the authority and ability to make the changes in the lineup. So like that's not good enough of an explanation for what that was on the pitch, because it wasn't good. And Redondo is not good enough to be a start on this team. Ben has not good enough to be a start on this team. I understand rotating him in because when you're talking about the third midfielder in this trio, if we're going to deploy 3 midfielders, that's where you're going to have some question marks always, no matter who's in. But Redondo he's fallen off so far.
Yeah, you start to question what is the actual depth chart of this club, because it's one thing to say you need to rotate guys in, but when you're consistently getting Kremaski as a starter, Redondo as a starter, Cello as a starter over, like, I know today it was neither Cello nor Frey, but usually, all things being equal, Cello starts over Frey. So it's very interesting to see what Mascherano actually, like, where he rates these players, because I think it's obvious. Like, we all see it. Like, we know who the starters are, who should be the starters, and yet we keep seeing in big time moments, we're seeing lesser players getting these spots. And I understand that there has to be some kind of rotation, but today, for instance, we haven't seen Frey in what it feels like 3 matches. Why the hell didn't Frey get some run today? Like, today seems like a very good spot for him to at least get his legs underneath him. So unless there's an injury question, which the club is usually pretty tight-lipped on that, and we haven't seen anything, but barring an injury, I feel like he should have at least been subbed in at some point today. He also brings in some offensive capabilities that we weren't seeing from Lujan. Lujan felt like a turnover machine. Redondo is so frustrating. You don't want to pull the cord on the kid, but at some point, punish him, like sit him down for a little bit to kind of have him clear his mind or something. But he seems to overthink everything, and it's turnovers and bad touches and bad passes. And I don't know how many times we're going to see a bad pass lead to a very, very dangerous scoring chance consecutive games. We keep seeing it coming from him, and we didn't get burned by it today, but it's going to happen. You keep doing that, and it's going to happen.
I just don't know who we put in there. Obviously, we said Bright is a clear-cut start over Redondo, but Bright needs to rest sometimes, right? But who else do we put in there? Mascherano obviously likes to rotate those CDMs a lot, right? We've seen a lot of just change there constantly all season. So, I mean, who else do we have to rotate in there? We really don't have another defensive center mid in there. We don't.
But you can kind of change up your alignments as well. Like, you don't always have to have the 2 CDMs as well. There's plenty of players out here that can fill. Segovia playing constantly on the wings. He should be more central. Yeah. You do have David Ruiz. Is he hurt? Because I haven't seen David Ruiz in ages.
No, he's available.
David Ruiz should get some run, maybe over Kremaski. Just again, same take as benching Redondo just to clear his mind. Maybe Kremaski needs to take a seat and think about it, and have David Ruiz get a chance out there. Like, we have other players.
And where was Fafa? Like, Fafa's another player. That's like perfect match to get some playing time.
Where's Gressel?
Like, I don't want to hear there's a lack of players to rotate. That's not true. This team has never been deeper before. They're pretty, like, knock on wood, they're pretty healthy across the board. There shouldn't really be an issue with not having somebody to put in. Like that can't be it.
Like Chris, you were asking like who would. Okay. First, Dave said the thing about the starters. I don't even know who the starters are at this point, Dave. That's the thing, because we're getting a lot of hot and cold play from these guys also, right? Like I thought Segovia and Allende were starters. I think they are, but they had terrible games today.
Allende didn't play much,
but they're playing in different positions than when
Right.
they were doing well. Segovia started the season well out of midfield. Allende started the season well on the wing, and then we moved everything around. We were still getting results, so it didn't really matter. But now when it gets into like the slog and you get into that mid-season, like those little decisions matter and they make a difference in how these players play. But Segovia was playing out of the midfield when it was like, this guy is better than Diego Gomez.
Right.
And now it's been like a run of games where you're just like, that dude doesn't look right.
Yeah, we had Allende and Segovia freaking lighting it up in there, and we're like, oh, these two young guys are great. You know, we made the best decision in the world to bring these guys in and ship Gomez on, and then now all of a sudden they're like, taking a little bit of a backseat here. What's going on? You know, but maybe Mascherano's overthinking the rotational situation. You know, maybe we have every 3 or 4 games. He's said it already multiple times. Every 3 or 4 days we have a game. Maybe he's overthinking it too much. I don't know. But the guys that should be rested are not being rested. Suarez. So I don't get that too much. You know.
Yeah, I totally agree. There were so many questions when I saw the starting lineup, but we can talk about that ad nauseum. Another thing that keeps rearing its ugly head is our knack for accumulating yellow cards, whether they are founded or unfounded. But the referee today had the quickest trigger I've ever seen for yellow cards. He gave a very early one to Chicago, and then it was like every foul after that point, pretty good chance of being a yellow card. Almost as if he took delight in someone fouling. He was like, I get to be the main character. Yellow card for you, buddy boy.
At them right in their face. He's like, you. Boom.
And he would look for him. He would push players out of the way and be like, take it out. Oh, where's your yellow card, Jose? This is a perfect talk for that. There it is.
Eight total yellow cards.
I'm literally trying to read all the comments because I'm so behind. I'm just been concentrating on what you guys are saying, and like Mike V's having some really fun like comments. I'm just laughing to myself. I'm like 6 minutes behind. Just don't mind me.
Perfect, great. I'm glad you're not hosting the show. Anyways, there was 8 yellow cards shown in this match.
We need Jose in a small little box. Like his box has to be teeny tiny.
Right.
Just red card me.
Or maybe we make Jose the big one. Perfect. And we'll just talk while Jose stares at the chat.
Yeah, we'll talk on the side here. We don't want to bother Jose with the chat.
Mind us.
But anyways, there was 8 yellow cards shown in this match. Inter Miami collected 3 yellow cards in the first half. That is a sign, a very clear sign to me that a referee has lost control of the match, because while 1 or maybe 2 were deserved as yellow cards, it is too early to punish a player with a yellow card because you disrupt the flow of the match and you don't allow things to go well. Inter Miami are averaging 3.2 yellow cards per match, and that leads the MLS.
Did you know
that is egregious? Like that is. It can't be that those are all legitimate. It just can't be.
We've said it already a few times. Are they trying to just show their authority over Miami? Because everyone's saying, "Oh, Miami's cheating." Is that the case? Because maybe, but it doesn't make any sense. You would think a governing body like that doesn't really do that. But
2 of the yellow cards in the first half were for dissent. Talk to the player and be like, "Hey, calm it down. If you do it again, it's gonna be a yellow card." But their emotions are running high. It's a professional match. Use your authority as a referee, as a match official, and manage the game so that it can be played at the highest level possible. And by showing these yellow cards, you're immediately handicapping these players on how they can play, how good the flow of the game can go, because you're capping it. And I was so disappointed with how the ref handled this match, and it was so obvious, he lost control so early.
I will say there was 1 yellow card very well deserved, and it was Benja's yellow card. I don't know if you guys overheard the mics caught him saying words that we shouldn't be
They
saying
that stuff all
online.
the time, Chris. You just don't hear it.
Yeah, no, but that wasn't the point. He was pissed off, and then he came back and retaliated on the Chicago Fire guy, and he tackled him to the floor. Deserved. But besides
It's the first half. Let him play.
that,
You've gone soft, Chris.
Boys being boys.
So I didn't like that about that match. That further aggravated me. It's just
It's been every match. That's
it's
the
a
problem.
constant
It's been
thing.
every
It's
freaking match,
it's something
man.
we're gonna have to get over, man.
Especially in the MLS side. Like in the tournaments, it hasn't been as bad. But man, in these MLS competitions, it's been rough. It's been rough. And at what point do you stop? Like we can't say this every single reaction. It's like the refs are terrible. The refs are terrible. But you have to say it because it's the truth. We're here calling it out, and it sucks that we have to constantly do this.
I will say that's not why we didn't win today. Though.
No, of course
And
not.
it's not why we lost against LAFC the first leg. So
No, we lost because they called back a million
If they
goals.
sent him off because of the red card that he didn't get, he wouldn't have scored the goal, Christopher.
you guys don't remember we played really bad that match.
Yeah, and
Who's
their
really
only,
bad?
and their only goal scorer should have been disqualified early on.
The thing is that we almost won despite how bad we played. We still like
That wasn't MLS.
Like
Those weren't
today,
MLS
like,
officials, though.
Right.
on the Discord. I forgot who said it. That they were like, I don't know what it is when we play these lesser opponents. We just like go down to their level. You know, it's just we drag these games out.
It was either Octi or Mad Titan on our Discord.
Or Icy Fox, right? Not sure.
Or Icy Fox, who knows? It could be anyone.
But it's true. Like we play down to our opponents a lot of times. I don't know if we just don't get up out of bed for these guys. I'm starting to think it has something to do with away games also.
I think our opponents play up to us. I don't think we play down to our opponents. Our opponents play so much better against us than they
We
do
look like
any other
garbage today. I don't think the opponents made us look like garbage today.
I don't know. They're playing a bunch of backups apparently, and
they have five key injuries.
So I don't know. I truly think our opponents play up to us most of the time.
Guess what? Talking about how good or bad we played up to our opponents. This segment is brought to you by Man of the Match and Niece of the Match. It's not brought to you by anybody. No sponsors. So, who do you guys think was the Man of the Match?
Messi.
No Allen, baby. Give it to me.
Ustadi with the freaking stellar shutout.
You think No Allen was the Man of the Match today? Wow.
I thought he played very well.
Chris was watching a completely different match from us.
I thought he played very well. Cool.
It doesn't mean that you're wrong. I'm just saying that's the guy. Wow.
Okay. I thought he played well. I said it.
Just fine. Julio, what do you think?
Messi.
Not bad.
It's a hot take.
Ustadi 8.8. He had a baller game, all things considered. He shut him down. Particularly when I felt that the defense wasn't necessarily helping very much today. I felt like we put them in very bad positions. I don't think Chicago was a very good team, and we saw that today. I mean, they constantly were getting. I mean, not constantly. The two that I could think of for sure should have been goals for sure. And they ended up being like little squirt guns right to his knees, and it was a very easy catch for Ustadi. But I
disagree. I think there were a couple shots there that were tough.
He was one-on-one.
There's a couple that he had to dive for them, and then there were some that I thought that he would for sure parry it, and he just flat out caught those balls. That makes such a humongous difference for your defense, because now they don't have to double cover an attack like that, and that's when all the dangerous chances, usually when they screw Drake Calendar in the butt, it's because of that. Look right there, Samrin Tariq. The diving catch was super clutch. Not only did he stop it on a dive, but he caught it. And they even said, "Oh, he must have stickum in his gloves." Like, that's not something that you usually see a goalkeeper do. It was fantastic.
To the comment, Mike V. I don't know if that's appropriate for her. So the next one you had mentioned Julio 8.2 Messi and Noah Allen 7.7. So he did not have a bad game.
My eyes don't deceive me, man.
Just not what we're used to, I would say. Not what we're used to from him. Because we're used to captain level Noah Allen to step up and be a difference maker. I don't know what to tell you.
7.7 playing out of position is not that bad.
He wasn't playing out of position.
They was.
That's his natural position.
He's a center back. He is
Not
a
anymore.
center back on this
Not
team.
anymore. He's a center
He
back.
hasn't
Through
been.
and through.
He has not been a left back in over a year
And he played left back most of his career.
because he was
Come
out of
on.
position, and now he's playing
Out
center
of
back. And he's
position. Like
playing
if he
great.
was playing freaking striker, get the hell out
He
of
was
here.
born to be a
Out of
center
position.
back.
I agree.
Right. That's right.
But don't give me out of position.
He's out of position, baby. Out of position.
I
Don't talk
don't
about our
know.
captain like that.
All right. So going on to the next thing, least of the match. What would you
Easy.
guys?
The star boy of the show right now, Suarez.
Suarez.
Yeah,
Star
Suarez
boy,
is a good
okay.
one.
Easy.
I'll say-
I'll do Redondo.
But
And I'll go
would be my
Lujan.
second.
Yeah, Lujan's a good one too. Yeah.
There was a lot of
You guys
unremarkable.
I mean, I don't even remember it anymore. Like, okay, I'm just gonna say it. I don't care what you said.
Suarez.
6.4. Agreed. He horrific game. Someone actually had a worse game than him, but he was subbed on, so it has a little bit of an asterisk.
Allende.
I ended. Yeah, 6.2.
He was there for 5 seconds. Like it's so tough.
I don't know. I don't think he was. I actually don't think he was. I think
He was a
there
late
more.
sub.
He was probably there for like 25 minutes or so.
He was there from the
30.
60th.
pretty
So
much.
it's 32 minutes. The guy had enough time to make a difference. And he didn't.
No, he could have won the
could've
game.
He could have won the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could have won this game. Instantly leads to the match. He wins the glory. And Lujan 6.7. I put him in there. Why not? Suarez is worse than jail food. Hot take, Mike. I don't know if that's true.
You've never had jail food.
Not from
And
experience.
Segovia 6.6.
Man, Segovia's been down there way too much lately.
What did Redondo do? Did you say it? I'm sorry if you did. I missed it.
7.0.
Oh,
I forgot
Surprising.
him.
eyes feel me on that one.
Most people did forget him as well.
Well,
Yes,
when I was
Segovia's-
talking bad about Redondo in the Discord, and people were saying, "Well, he's flying everywhere on defense." So that probably propped up his grade. I just felt like he was constantly turning the ball over. That's my biggest gripe with him.
That's part of it. Like, I'm serious. Like, when I said earlier in the podcast, like when we were talking about Redondo, I always felt like he was playing center back. Like, I thought we changed his position, like in game, because it was like it seemed like he was always right next to Noah Allen. I don't know if he just felt Noah Allen's out of position again. Oh my God, let me go cover for him. But I'm gonna be honest with you, hot take. I don't think he did terribly as a center back. I think that could be fun to watch. But then I thought the next thing, instant thought right after. My God, but do you imagine Redondo next to Toto? Oh God,
Yellow cards all match.
get me out of here.
And also, center back is the position of least need to,
Yeah.
to rotate, to
Hey,
tinker
you
with.
know what?
Can you imagine? Can you
Just
imagine saying that a year ago?
Allen and Falcon, and we're good.
But can you imagine saying that a year ago? Center
No.
back is our position of least.
Not
need.
even a year ago, like before week 1 of this season.
Yeah,
insane.
scary.
You know,
That's
you guys-
good. That's a good
This is
thing.
very good.
It's a great.
You know what? You guys underestimate those Kristoff and Kamal days. You know,
I liked Kamal Miller.
I loved Kamal.
I loved Christoph.
this Kamal Miller just rumbling, bumbling up the
That's
up
right,
the
man.
gut, up the middle, just had no business running up the middle, but you know what? He was doing it.
We could have used that today. Let me tell you.
Noah
He's-
Allen showed his best impression last match about that. You know,
I've noticed that from our center backs lately that they've been coming up.
Today was a
Falcon
bit
included.
egregious and adventurous by Toto at times.
I get nervous one of those times.
I got nervous a number of those times, man. Toto would just get completely out of position and then 3 passes and they were in the space behind that he vacated.
Yeah.
It's like they had a target on him, and they're like, if this dude comes up, immediately let's go after him.
Unbelievable.
I'm curious to see with Segovia continuing to be in the 6s in these ratings. Again, obviously we use our eye test and we use the ratings to put everything together. But I'm curious if when Baltasar comes in, is that going to be kind of a place where he may start jumping into Segovia's position, because he's been having some rough matches lately.
Someone mentioned it earlier, Crema, I think.
Yeah, I would
Could be
put
that too.
Baltasar in midfield. But
Yeah.
again, like Segovia should move back to midfield.
Right.
Fafa should be playing. Like, why aren't we seeing Fafa more at this point? Like, is he still kind of ailing from the injury? I mean, he was the match winner against Atlanta and then is like, poof, disappeared. Never see you again. So I don't understand. I just don't understand the decision making in today's lineup. And I think that bleeds from the starting lineup. I was pretty good with the substitutions that were made, but it felt like we were still missing Obando in for Suarez. And I'm not saying that would have made the difference, but that was like very glaring to me. And it's worrisome that something that is so blatantly obvious over the course of 6-7 matches now hasn't been corrected repeatedly. That is beginning to get worrisome. And maybe he knows something or sees something with Obando that it's just he's not even good enough to replace what Suarez is providing, which is even more troublesome if that's the case. But we got to see it, man. We've seen him for 10 minutes. Today was the perfect chance for Obando to play 90 minutes.
Yep.
At minimum, 30 minutes, like at the end. Like
Agreed.
When it was obvious that Suarez was done.
Agreed.
Hey, on the bright side, we're still unbeaten in MLS play.
Boom.
Last two matches have been really bad.
Rough.
Really bad. Chicago
Columbus.
and Toronto, those are two matches that, I mean, you got to be taking points from those. 2 draws is not good enough.
It's not going to get easy the next few weeks. That's for sure.
When do we play Vancouver?
The 24th. 24th of April.
11 days. Figure it out.
10:30 p.m. kickoff, by the way. They're doing us a favor and kicking off an hour earlier than the LAFC match.
That's nice of them.
Thank God.
That's actually really nice of them, actually.
That hour makes a big difference,
It
let
really
me tell
does.
you.
It really does.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough one, man. Vancouver's still top of the spot. They just killed. Who did they play yesterday? Timber or Austin? I don't remember now. But they killed them like 5-1 or something
Austin
crazy.
sounds right.
Yeah, it might have been Austin. And Brian White is on a tear right now. He is just playing out of his mind. He scored four goals.
It was Austin.
He's blowing his
It was
load.
Austin.
He's blowing his load too early. That's why we're not scoring right now. We're just saving it. We're just edging right now.
Right.
Dave Virgiano asked, don't want to do a convo, but can you guys touch on the Champions Cup semis matchup? Is that
That's exactly what we were just talking
Vancouver
about.
matchup.
Game.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Everybody's asking us about that, actually. So it's not really derailing, David. A lot of people. Go ahead, Dave. You're mentioning it.
No, I was just bringing it up.
The
So
key
that
point
we're-
is we need a score.
Right.
Would be a great starting point, and the defense needs to look a lot better. I think it's completely different when Alba plays left back, Noah Allen is playing center back, and Frey is at right back. I don't want to see Chelo or Lujan at right back over Frey. I mean, Frey has had his moments where he's been not the best defensively, but I think from the perspective of who's the most well-rounded, I think Frey gives us the best chance on offense and defense. And I'm not as worried about the defense as I am about the offense, because the offense has had its struggles now for a long stretch.
Correct.
The LAFC match notwithstanding, but outside of that match, we've had a really hard time of scoring and making it look competent, right? Not making it look like, oh, Messi did the cool thing. It needs to be, when we started the season, it was like, okay, the others are getting involved. Segovia's getting involved. Allende's getting involved. Fafa's coming in and getting a header at the last minute. Like, those things were great because it was not reliance on Messi. And
Suarez was
been
facilitating. Suarez was facilitating.
Correct.
Like he was being useful. I think I've noticed that since Suarez has really fallen off, the offense has fallen off completely.
Yeah, and it makes sense because when you have a number 9, you can be like, okay, he's gonna get me 20 plus goals in all competitions, minimum. Given that we're in 5 competitions, like something needs to change with the number 9 position, and maybe where the players are deployed around the number 9 position to just facilitate attacking better, because Vancouver is looking like a well-oiled machine in attack, and they're gonna steamroll us eventually. Like, eventually the dam's gonna break. They're gonna find the soft spot in the defense, and they're gonna score goals. Like, it's gonna happen. So we have to be able to counter that with something. And right now, it doesn't look like we have a good chance of creating anything, so long as the defensive team just sits back and clogs the middle, which is a problem we saw against Toronto and a problem we saw today. They just clog the middle, and then we forget that we can shoot the ball from distance, or that we can cross the ball and try to soften up spaces. But none of that was happening today.
It reminds me, right now you just pointed something out that it reminded me of a play today that we didn't even touch up on. I mentioned it on the Discord. Boosie had an opportunity today that he was wide open at the top of the box, wide open. He elected instead. He saw Messi cutting behind the defense, and he tried to pop it up right in between where the goalkeeper was and where Messi was, and he tried to meet them in the middle. That was such a hard pass that I would have rather him tried to have shot a long distance shot where I feel very confident in his ability to at least get it into the frame. You know what I'm saying? Just somewhere.
That's not his style. Like Boosie always, if
More-
it's between
more
an outside the
egregious?
box shot or a really difficult pass, he is that proficient of a passer that he feels confident making that pass.
More
They might
egregious
still-
was Suarez. Suarez had an opportunity in the box, and he passed up to Messi, which is fine. Like, you can pass up to Messi every now and then, but when you're number 9 and you have an opportunity in the box, and I can't believe I'm saying this about Suarez, because Suarez is one of the most selfish strikers that Inter Miami's ever had. Like, he will make a giant fuss about not getting a ball in the box, even if he's triple covered. So the fact that he conceded the opportunity to Messi, again, granted, it's Messi, but Messi was well covered in the moment. Suarez very clearly had a shooting opportunity.
It was
when
he
he
had
passed
line of
that off.
sight. Yeah, he had line of
When
sight
he
on the
passed
goal,
that off,
and it was Messi surrounded by 3 guys. It's like, and it went back. So it gives, and it also, not only was it back to a defending Messi, but since it goes back, it gives the defense a chance to swarm. It was just insane.
it was a
Insane.
microcosm of today's game,
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion.
And maybe his confidence is shot, man. I mean, that could be something where, like, oh, you think that what you just said, you think that, right? Because this guy is who he is. Like, how
He
has he
tried a
been?
bicycle kick where he had no business trying to bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Okay,
kick last
and
match.
then what happened?
He's
And
got
then what
confidence.
happened?
He's got
What
confidence, let me
happened?
tell you. But the ability is failing him.
But maybe that's the part where it's starting to be, it's starting to the trajectory of his confidence going down because he tried that bicycle kick and he landed in his face. So
He's done it like 4 times this year.
He's learning, buddy. He's
Keep
learning.
going.
He's like, you know what? I ain't as good as I once was.
But
I
I'm
don't know.
good
I
once
wanna
as I
see-
ever was.
I want to see Obando. I want to see Obando
Yeah.
next match. If he's worse than Suarez, great. We never have to see him again. But we have to see it, man. Like, we've been defending Suarez all season because, like, yeah, he's getting assists, he's doing these things, but like, man, you gotta score, man.
And like you said, he hasn't gotten many assists either. So it's like, yeah, we defend them because I feel like we don't want to go back to Joseph Martinez days. Straight up.
Well, we defend him. We defend him because he's one of the greatest strikers ever. So, like, he should.
Last year he
Turn
had
it around.
He had an incredible season last season. It's not like
Right.
like
That's
we're
part of it
asking
too.
too much from him. He had a great season. He just fell off all of a sudden.
Like, it's one thing for him to lose the athletic ability. It's another thing to have one-on-one with the goalkeeper, put it on frame. Just put the damn ball on frame.
When was
That's
the
all
last
I'm asking.
time when he wasn't offside that he hit the target?
We should, guys. I got a great idea. This is I'm
boy.
talking about it now with everybody can comment on it.
Good. Let's workshop this right now.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you remember the golf swing that I sent you guys of me, or maybe I did it because it was embarrassing? That it went. I hit the ball and it went straight up. I just looked up and it landed probably like 5 yards. Like, it wasn't very far. We should workshop that and today's Luis Suarez like shot attempt where they both just it took the same trajectory. I think his soccer, like his shot, went further than my golf swing for sure. But I think that'd be a fun. We should do a little highlight of that.
You should start working on it.
Yeah, I'm not
Right.
gonna work on it.
Fantastic. Thank you for that, Jose. Jose wants a side by side where he's like, look, I'm just like Luis Suarez.
We both suck.
We both suck.
We were both really, really good at one point.
One big piece of news that we haven't mentioned is the Messi possible re-signing through 2027 or whatever it is.
2026.
Yeah, so that's big. It still hasn't happened officially, but they say it's just imminent. It should be happening very, very soon. So that's huge, man. He may be able to play. I was already starting to get worried that he wasn't going to play in the new stadium. So the fact that this is possibly coming up, and he could play in the new stadium next season, that'll be awesome, man.
Never
That'll
in
be really
doubt.
nice to see. Which I passed by the new stadium yesterday, and man, it's freaking crazy how fast they've put it up.
Did you know that Jose has an inside
I
person.
don't even know. I know someone that's
Yes,
working
two.
on
Yes, two inside people.
people that are working in the stadium, like just in construction. But what does that mean? You know what I'm saying?
It means
Pictures,
follow the Heron
videos.
Heads on all social media channels
For some cool pictures that
updates,
Jose's gonna-
exclusive
yeah.
updates from Jose, and Jose's
Yeah.
insider source.
I have a primo that works, a primo to a primo's friend, and it's possible, Mike. Yeah,
It's like, should I be offended right now?
no idea.
Mishaps.
All right,
Like,
so
he just says things that I'm like, I don't do that.
any other tidbits of news that we want to touch on here before we wrap up?
I mean, I don't know if I know everybody. This might be old at this point, but the Kevin De Bruyne rumors, people are saying that it seems like the likeliest spot for him, either us or New York, if it's for MLS. But we have his discovery rights.
Is that true?
And we do have his discovery rights. We got him for free from San Diego for some reason. I don't understand what they decided to do and why they let it go, especially since they had extra discovery rights since they're an expansion franchise. But we were able to secure those, and if we're able to add him, it would be fun. I know that.
Is he the only one, David? I'm just curious. Is he the only one?
Oh, there's another rumor about Angel Di Maria, but we've heard that before, and I don't know how much we can really put credence into that one.
David, would you have to say we have
hold
a
on
need
before we dive into that? I love the sequence of events that happened when it was reported that Di Maria was open or visiting, his agent was visiting, but it was like the prerequisite is that the number 11 be available. That same day, within hours of that report coming out, the club announces Baltasar Rodriguez with the number 11 kit. And it was like, well, there goes Di Maria.
They're like, meet our new number 11. Like, they highlighted the fact that he was number 11 as to like put the kibosh on that rumor. No, but the De Bruyne one is interesting because apparently MLS can kind of squash your rights to the player if they think it's not feasible for the club to sign the player. So the fact that MLS hasn't really done that shows that we can still tinker with our economic situation right now. I know that they're saying that they might piss off the MLS, but we might be able to do short-term sweetheart deal just to get him in for the tournament, and then do a long-term deal after that, and that'll just really infuriate all the other teams. But who gives a crap? Like, if it's legal and kosher, let it happen.
I mean, I agree. So now that it appears to be true, now we can celebrate.
Is that what I said? I'm pretty sure I said that Di Maria is likely not coming. Sorry.
Shoes and I just got disappointed so quickly.
Shoes understands.
He's very understanding, very gentle. Chris, anything else you want to whip around the league? Any interesting results that we have, or?
I'll whip it around the league. We're falling little by little, week by week. We're just starting to fall down from that spot that we're shooting for. We're at number 4 right now. We got Columbus up at 1, Charlotte at 2, Cincinnati at 3, and then we are at 4 in the East. So a lot different than what it looked like a couple weeks ago. As far as the Supporters' Shield go, we're actually 5th in the Supporters' Shield race. Vancouver's number 1. So it'll be nice to beat them in the semifinals just because of that one little tidbit. Matches, to be honest, I didn't pay attention to many matches this week. I saw last night the LAFC San Jose match. That was a fun one. But besides that, I didn't really see much. But just looking through, there wasn't anything interesting going on this weekend. Philadelphia lost, which is nice, to NYCFC. But besides that, not too crazy of a weekend, to be honest.
Excellent. Well, Inter Miami gets their first extended break here in quite a while. We get 6 days off. Our next match is on Saturday. Is that against Columbus?
Yeah.
The next match. So 6 days from now on Saturday against Columbus, we will be doing our preview show for that sometime this week, probably Wednesday. And then we will be live post-match again to break down the action from that game. So if you guys have enjoyed the content, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Hit the notification bell to hear about when we go live. And thank you for tuning into the Heron Heads podcast, powered by 786 Sports. Your first stop for all things Inter Miami. Catch you guys on the next one. Have a good night.